Okay, so this video is going to be for creating our guess word PHP file. Okay, I'm going to start it with a blank file, and then we'll just reopen it just so it configures itself properly to PHP. I've got a bit of HTML code we're going to add in. Just for the general information. Obviously we need to also link it up to the CSS file, so let's just go ahead and do that. Bang, done. So here's linked up. Key information is there. We've got, obviously in the head we also need a title. So at the moment we're just focusing on getting our default HTML onto the page. You can title guess an anagram. So I've got the head, now I need the body. And in between that, we've got some div tags we need to put in. So what we can do is we can actually grab those div tags from one of our other pages. So I'm just going to grab these from our entered word. This is going to be exactly the same. Might as well, where you can, just copy and paste code. This works quite nice actually using the source code editor, because you can actually just go copy and paste the code and it goes exactly where you want it. We can always use the design view, but when we do dynamic pages we really find that sort of difficult. What this also has is we need to add another one. So I've got display words popping up, but I also want to add another button for guess word. Now what I'm also going to do is we're actually going to go back and modify this button, because now I still want the height there, but rather than with 50%, I want it 33%. Obviously I would also need to go and add this bit of code onto my AdWord page, onto the Edit Words page, and also the Display Words page, just so that we can get all the buttons. Obviously, probably before I copied and pasted them, I should have given a title for the button, otherwise it's going to have the exact same writing. Now if I load those up, okay, we've got, that one's got a little asterisk, so that's unsaved, so is the enter word, so we're going to save all of those. Obviously going to just in file save all. And if I go to my live code view of this, okay, it's saying it doesn't want a testing server, but I'm just going to flick it over. Yeah, I want to use the local source, so now I've got my 3 words. But what we notice is they're changing 50% for each of them, all because I have in my recommend default, I've modified the width on there, the button, but not on the hover. So this actually means you can actually have different size buttons for different objects. So now if I go, oh, much better, all nice 3 in the same place. Obviously let's get rid of that code view. Got the keyword in there. Now what I could do is go and generate inside the body a whole new div tag and div style. I'm just going to leave this one as guess word because it's going to be about the same size as what was used on our display words page. So what we need, first bit at the top, we need to start a form, because it's going to have a container, so it's going to have the information we're going to write into it. Finish the form, and a bit of information we need to add in at the bottom. We obviously need a little text box in here somewhere. And I'm just going to quickly throw these in. So I've got a little message that pops up, enter your guess in the box below. Type of it being a text box, going to name it guess, and query button, it's going to have the word guess on it. So if we go to design view for that, nice little box where I can enter my guess. And what we want is actually this to end up being moved down, and above that the anagram being placed in. What will happen with the anagram is that it will display different things. It will initially start displaying the anagram, then if you get it right, it will tell you you've got it right and get another one. If not, it will tell you got it wrong, and then and then ask you to enter it in again. This is where our PHP comes in. Our first section, what we need to do, our first bit of code is what we're going to throw just sort of, up just after the heading, is to basically generate a random word. So there's a bunch of lines of code for this. So it's a function, because we're going to want to be able to reuse this. You remember functions from using JavaScript. Work in a similar way, except the declaration is a little different, so we put the word function in front, and then the name of it. We've still got the brackets though. Because this is going to get the information out of the database, we need the include PHP connect. So we're going to add that in, and like before, what we have, at the end of that is also the MySQL close. So all that code goes in between here. We first need to set up the connection and check if it exists. This one is pretty much basically the same as what we've done in the past. So I'm just going to copy that in, just going to format these so they're not a bit nicer laid out. So I've got my connection, and if it has an error, the error message pops out on the screen. So we've got that. Now, a new option. So it's similar to what we did with displaying the words, except rather than this time getting every single word, we're just going to get a few. So I'm going to get MySQL connect, get a host, I've done that one wrong, so we'll get rid of that. MySQL query, because I want to query the database for information using the connection I established earlier, and I want to select, so this means choose, the word field from the table words. Always really important to get your spelling right here, very easy to do. And order by, so this is we can sort them in like alphabetical order or different things here. But what I'm actually going to do is a built-in function called random. So I'm in a random order. Saves me having to do a random number generator, and limit 1. So I only actually want to ever get one result. Very, very useful instruction. That by order by random, limit 1. This means go through everything in there, only get one of them. Saves us having to do any searching for it. So we've now got our one word for the result. What we're going to do, $row. So for each row, so the query comes out with a result. What we do is my SQL underscore. So fetch the array, so it turns our result into an array of items. So while there are still, what this is saying is get the results, turn them into basically a list or an array of items. So the first row, second row, third row. While there is still a row, do something else. We put this in just because sometimes there might not actually be anything in the database. And we're going to assign random word is assigned to the row, and we're going to just store the variable in it, which is word. So we put the field name, and it gets that first row what the field is for word, and stores it in here. Obviously, after that, what we need to do is close the connection. So MySQL close, let me just get rid of that. And this time make sure we put the $con on, so that'll close our connection. Obviously our global connection, bit of redundancy, but it's better to have it in there. And finally, at the end of this function, we're going to return our result, which is the random word. Now, this won't be run until we actually run this bit of code later, so we'll sort of leave it alone for now. What I then need to do